Hey, I'm with Finney out here. This is Chris Undertaking. We're gonna see if we can get gold in the Dale District. Virginia Dale District. We're gonna see if we can get gold, right, Finney? Good. Let's go get some gold.
But first I had to figure out where are we gonna dig for gold at. So I whipped out my drone so I could get a good perspective of the area we were in. I found a general area that I wanted to prospect at. Pulled out my metal detector to see if we could get any hits, but really we only found some bullet casings.
So look at the area. I'm walking around trying to see where I want to dig. And it's all very interesting. A lot of rock piles. There's a random one right over there. I think it might be an old tailings pile. I don't know. Hey, Finney, where are we digging? You want to dig right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we were only there for moments because he got distracted with this tailings pile. And he went on the prowl for a new spot. On this trip, I was relying on his expertise. He was going to tell us where we were going to dig and where we were going to find gold. I might be biased, but he's also pretty adorable, so I couldn't say no to where he wanted to dig. We worked together, father and son, digging in the dirt, feeding it into the Keen 190 dustless dry washer. After digging down a foot, we ended up hitting a pumice layer. At that point, I decided we were going to do two cleanouts. One would be the dirt from the top layer, the second would be the pumice layer plus what's underneath it. I pulled out my favorite gold prospecting tool, and also the most fun, the shop vac, for maximum dirt recovery, and hopefully some gold in it. We cleaned out our hole real nice like, ran the dirt, and it was time for our first clean out.
Run dirt out.
We would use the white bucket for the first clean out. Afterwards, we took a much needed break, laughed about life a little bit, took a walk around the desert, and even found a tarantula nest. Conducted some shadow fighting before getting our second wind and tackling the pumice layer and digging underneath it. It was about a foot of pumice we had to bust through to get to the layer underneath it. And Finney did his best to help me break apart the pumice so we could run it through the dry washer. We finished the crushing, it was time to run it through.
Man, I'm getting tired right now. Whew. What are you doing, Finney?
Digging.
We processed the pumice so we could get underneath. I was excited to see what kind of material we would see under that pumice layer, and it was very interesting. It was a small gravel layer, but when it was processed through the dry washer, it came out very clean. I made the mistake of not digging the hole that wide, which made it super difficult to get the dirt out as we were going deeper and deeper. So I'm demonstrating how to properly shovel so you throw your back out.
Just catching my breath on the Keen 190. Makes a good rest area. Whew.
And this rock reminds me of sherbet ice cream.
All right, Finney, you ready to go in? Okay, here, hold my hand. There you go, slide in. All right, Finney, expect that hole clean when I come back.
We vacuumed out the hole, and it looked like we had hit a layer of caliche that was underneath the pumice. So let's break this down. A foot of overburden, a foot or two of pumice, a gravel layer that was full of black sand, and the gravel got bigger as it went down and ends at a caliche layer. This is a gravel that was being filtered out by the grizzly bars in the dry washer. I put the concentrates in the Home Depot bucket. I moved my equipment out of the way so I could metal detect my tailings and the material rejected by my grizzly bars, but no gold. While we were cleaning up, Finney might have accidentally dumped his toys into the hole, which will require a rescue mission to occur. And if you were wondering, yes, I did refill my hole. For two reasons. Of course, the most important one is reclamation. The second is if I find a ton of gold, I don't want people to know where I dug at. We took the concentrates to pan out at home, and remember we have two buckets for two different cleanouts. The white bucket was the top layer, The Home Depot bucket was the lower layer that included the pumice. And the top layer was a bust, only 2 pieces of gold, and this can be common with the pumice flow. Now it's time to pan out the layer of pumice and the gravel that was underneath it. I had higher expectations for this clean out, and it produced 2 nice sized pieces of gold. I plan to do some more research and definitely head back there to prospect for more gold. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Finney and Chris undertaking out, and heavy pans.